I always think that being inside a VR experience is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And can feel like a little bit scary for some people. Equine Eyes has been a series of prototypes over quite an extended period of time, where we started to try and play with how we might use immersive technologies and ideas of embodiment to help build empathy and understanding, and ultimately new forms of kinship with other species. The funding opened pathways to impact through international partnership after I was approached by the curator Benjamin Stolz to redevelop the prototypes into a new piece for the show. I originally developed the Equine Eyes prototypes at Imagination Lancaster, but the funding allowed it to be developed into a playful, wearable, participatory piece that audiences could use. The early prototypes and ideas were presented for feedback nationally and internationally at conferences like Beyond Conference, Imagination, and the TEDx talk on exploring the borders between human and non-human. It was also presented to international audiences in the US, China, and Ireland. The work drew on academic research into horse vision and research on our shared cultural history with horses. I also discussed the work whilst it was in development with expert horse trainers whilst contributing to the Monty Roberts documentary Visions in the Dark. So the Horse's Head Equine Eyes started as a series of prototypes using the Oculus Rift, and it took in 2 camera views into a laptop. The laptop processed that using Unity, and then that passed back through into the Oculus Rift. That was a really good early stage prototype, and it allowed us to see how that worked and how it balanced and how it affected audiences. The Impact Accelerator account at Ulster University, funded by the Arts and Humanities Research Council, has helped us develop this prototype into a proof of concept, which means that we've been able to take it out to the gallery in Belgium and for audiences to interact with it in the way that it was intended, so that we can capture data and the audience experience. The centre facilitated a one-to-one experience for every visitor to play with the device, chat about their experiences, and the work's links to the themes of the show. This gave a safe space for the audiences to work with and through the ideas, where they could feel vulnerable but also playful. So the funding has been used to develop these 3 prototypes. We needed to take away the kind of post-processing, we need to take away the laptop. So inside each headset there's a Raspberry Pi module, and it takes in the 2 live camera feeds. These are between kind of 200 and 220 degree field of view lenses out the front. Horses can see between blue and yellow, and they can't see the colour red. It strips out the red, so it turns it from a tricolour image into a diachronic colour range. Then it puts it back out into a HDMI screen. That means that everything's wireless. It's all battery operated, so that the audience can put on the headset, and the 2 cables come down to a power pack. This funds allowed me to collaborate with software engineer Simon Hewitt and the regional production company Poly Productions on the mask element. It's designed to be lightweight, robust, but cheap to produce multiples of for a show. This allows us to really let audiences play with and enjoy the device. They're free to move and to walk around the show and to interact with audiences, interact with their friends and family. It's supposed to be a really playful experience. It's supposed to be one which is engaging and embodied and interactive.
Je suis le cheval, OK.
Oh là là.
C'est bizarre.
Ben, il voit pas grand-chose, le cheval. Il voit que devant lui, hein?
Oh, qu'est-ce que c'est?
I'll see you.
When people try this headset, they always start a conversation with us that, of course, tell us a lot about the experience they had with the headset, but also about how they experience the whole exhibition, how they experience design, how they experience heritage. We don't want to be a museum that only shows dead objects on inaccessible pedestals. We are happy that people can try and can experience live devices and that they really engage with design. It's not only something that you see from far away, it's something that you can really experience yourself. Equine Eyes is the climax of the exhibition. So they finish the whole exhibition with this experience, and they are happy because there is also a little bit of fun in it. At the beginning, they are a bit shy, and then when they try it, they are so surprised and impressed. So they tell, if they are in a group, they tell their friends, please, you have to try it, it's crazy. Most of the time you are passive in an exhibition, and here they are active. I think it really changed their way of thinking and apprehending a horse.
It's the final piece in the show, and it allows visitors the opportunity to play with and through its ideas. It can be easily laser cut and 3D printed and doesn't rely on proprietary systems or commercial headsets. It's all built with open source technology, so it makes it cheap, flexible, scalable, with a very small environmental production footprint.
Alors le projet d'exposition Superpower Design, en fait, c'est un genre de réflexion sur comment le design pourrait nous aider à être des super-humains, ou plutôt comment le design va travailler sur des questions de technologie dans le futur, donc les futures technologies d'augmentation du corps. Mais surtout, ce que j'ai voulu me demander, c'est, au lieu d'être peut-être plus fort, plus intelligent ou plus beau, si le design pouvait nous aider à être plus empathique, plus sociable ou plus éco-responsable. Equine Eyes, en fait, c'est un projet qui représente la concrétisation vraiment du propos que j'ai voulu développer dans l'exposition, à savoir, est-ce que le design peut développer chez nous des capacités différentes que la force, l'intelligence ou la rapidité, et développer justement cette empathie vis-à-vis d'autres personnes, ici en l'occurrence des animaux.
For me, the magic doesn't happen kind of in the headset when you put the headset on. It's once you've left the gallery and when you're out in the wild and you meet a horse again for the first time. And maybe in that instant, you might think about the Equine Eyes project, and you might think about the way that that horse is experiencing the world, and you might approach it differently, or you might think about its body differently and the way that it's kind of sensing the world or orientating itself in the world, and you might have a better bond and connection with that horse, thinking about it on its own terms rather than kind of projecting our humanness onto the horse. The headset affords a kind of embodied reflection on, I guess, what I call the horsiness of horses. Through play and embodiment, we can open up spaces for imagination, reflection, and what feminist designers term imagining otherwise. The experience creates a speculative space to think about being something other than human.